Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thanks for being here. One of the reasons I ran for this position is I've been in education all my life. And I wish we didn't have to have this talk about the CHOOSE Act, school choice. Now, we passed it in my state of Alabama, and we'll see how that works. I wish that we had a plan in our country where no child is left behind. And we teach them knowledge, not ideology, okay, through the public system. Again, 35 years of coaching. I went into high schools in every state except for Alaska. And we have some great public schools in this country. We have some great teachers. We have excellent administrators. Here's the problem I saw. It turned into tenure, okay? You can't fire anybody. If I was in coaching and I had somebody that couldn't coach and I couldn't fire them, I'm gonna get my ass fired, okay, at the end of the day. Same thing with teaching. If we're not teaching knowledge in these schools, we got huge problems. And that's not what's happening in a lot of our schools. We got way too many administrators in our country. We have tripled the amount of administrators in this country as compared to teachers. Everybody wants to be an administrator, where I guess they want to plan something, they want to be over something. And that's put us in a tailspin. So what I'm saying is we forced our hand into this school choice. It's been forced because we've wasted trillions of dollars. And I've worked with thousands of kids that come in with 4-point GPAs, and they couldn't read and write. They were passed along. Just get on, we don't want you anymore. You're a good athlete, so let somebody else do it. I spent a lot of my own money teaching kids to read. Had a kid tell me one time after we taught him to read, "What's the most exciting thing that happened to you?" He said, "I can read a menu now. I don't have to go in and order a hamburger." It's embarrassing. If I was a teacher in this country and I saw what was happening to our kids in the public system, we should have a run on these buildings up here. So, that being said, we got a lot of work to do. I'm getting ready to hopefully be governor of Alabama. We're fixing to change everything in education. We need to change our education system, K through 12, higher education. We need to get back to teaching and stop this ideology, get away from tenure, fire the bad people that don't do their job, and get back to doing what's right in this country and help our kids. See, we're stealing from the American taxpayers in a lot of ways, but this is one of them. They're losing their money because they're not getting their money's worth. So, Ms. Worley, if you have school choice, and I'm in Alabama, you tell me how I'm going to transition from school choice to workforce development. How do I do that? I mean, how does that work? How does school choice, and how do we understand the significance of making that transition from school choice area?
Well, I think, Senator, you have an incredible opportunity in Alabama to do it right from the beginning, with all of the options that are a part of the school choice continuum. If you go into them, it doesn't just have to be schools that are for dropout students, should have career technical education and work-based learning opportunities. And going to the employers in those regions where you have schools, which is everywhere, is, I think, the first way to start that, and to see what the high demand careers are coming in Alabama. And
so what grade area would you start transforming from school choice to workforce development? Would you wait till the 12th grade? Would you start in the 9th? Would you start in the 6th? How would you do that?
If I had a magic wand and we could do it, I believe early exposure, a passport of skills, a way that kids can start to learn what it looks like, what it feels like, what they want to explore, and then build on that passport of skills and understanding early in elementary school through middle school, and make it more tangible and weave it into, as they go into high school. It shouldn't be the first time in a junior year that they step foot in a major employer. It just shouldn't be.
Yeah. Here's the way I look at it. You got to teach these kids to read and write, okay? If you don't read and write before the 3rd grade, you about had it, okay? You can do it, but it's really, really hard. But we've got to teach reading and writing early. Math and science and history will come if they can read. You can't do math and history and science if you can't read. And so that's one of the things I plan on doing. And so hopefully, but we're going to do workforce development. The K through 12 to me is just so obsolete. It really is. It's in the Stone Ages. There's a lot of kids that don't need to go 12 years. You know, they need to go out and workforce and learn and be an example. Mr. Kirkley, I lived 10 years at Coral Gable. Coached 10 years at University of Miami from 1985 to 95. Won a lot of games, but I saw a city transform. There's not a more diverse city in this country than Dade and Broward County. It's just not. And I saw our education get better because a lot of these kids come in, they can't speak English. They come from all these third world countries, but they did a great job doing it. How did they do that?
Thank you for the question, Senator. As I mentioned earlier in my testimony, Miami-Dade is the freest market for K-12 education in this country. Every student in Florida, but certainly in Miami-Dade, has the ability, if they want, to have an education savings account to use for tuition to a private school or to buy education services and products to customize their education. We have 150 charter schools. We have 400 private schools that kids can attend, and low-income kids do attend on our scholarships. But most importantly, as I said earlier, the public district in Miami-Dade did not shy away from competition. They didn't complain, not once. When the superintendent came in 2008, when choice was just coming to the fore, he said, I'm not afraid of this. We're going to create options that families want, and they did so. They have over 100 magnet schools in Miami-Dade, and I would add, sir, they have amazing technical education programs, automotive technology, medical technology, where kids, they'll have 3 levels. Kids can go right into nursing, they can go to school in nursing, or they can go on to college and then go to med school. But they all go to the same public high school together. It's a beautiful thing. Competition works.
Yeah, I want to pass this on to my fellow senator. I want to ask one more question. In my state of Alabama and other states, with all the people coming here from other countries, our schools are being overrun. We don't have enough people to teach, the different languages that are coming in. You have that because you have people that have come from other countries that have grown up in the system and have been educated speaking, different languages from Latin America, Central America, and those things. How do we do it now? How does people that don't have that number of people that can speak the language of these young kids coming, how do we do that? I mean, how do we transition? Because we put them in a room and just turn on a video? I mean, tell me how that works.
I'm not an expert, Senator. I'm not an expert in that area, but I would defer to the people in Miami-Dade who've been doing it incredibly well for 30 years. As I said earlier, over 150 languages are spoken in the Miami-Dade public schools. Yeah. Obviously, they're not fluent in every single 150 languages.
But they can communicate.
But they're good at working with ESOL students and getting them mainstreamed. And so I would highly recommend talking with the people in Miami-Dade about that.
Ms. Garcia, I saw you shaking your hand. Could you answer that question for me?
Well, in the state of Arizona, what we've seen over the last few years is that a lot of teachers have been brought in on visas to be able to teach students with different languages. We also have first-generation and second-generation teachers who are bilingual and can speak 2 languages and can help students not only flourish in their original language, but also learn English so that they are bilingual and able to have 2 languages academically.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you.